Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to episode 76 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas Show. We are live through YouTube, X, and Rumble. And if at the end of this episode and every episode with a number, you will be able to watch or listen or download on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or iHeartRadio. So no way that you can miss my show. And of course, the best way to support my channel, to support my videos, to support my show is to like and subscribe. It's completely free, very easy, and also download the 100 body language tips in the description of this video. Download my tips and you will be subscribed to my awesome emails as well. I have yet to write an email, by the way. Let's highlight the live chat. A great live chat, which is the heart and soul of our show. Let me make sure that everything is ready to begin. Have a couple topics, more than a couple topics. Today is gonna be a bit of a laid-back show. You know that I've been doing two 2-hour shows with 10 topics each. In fact, 2 days ago it was 11 topics. I mean, this tie is the same color. I usually don't use tie the same color of my jacket, but today is I'm gonna make an exception. I have a light in here. Maybe this is it's navy blue like my jacket. I have a light here for reasons. My studio is full of lights. But navy blue has some details of. I almost never use this tie. I haven't used this tie like in months because it's hard to combine. Now you're asking. I wanted to go blue today. Because why not? Let's go blue, not blue of the Democrats. We have a couple topics. Before we get started, I want to make sure that we have everything ready. Everything ready. And there are a couple things that I still want to add from today's X rant. And what? This is Andrew Yang 10 minutes ago. What we need right now is a good Joe Biden speech. That Andrew Yang literally has just tweeted that. What we need right now is a good Joe Biden speech. No, man. No, man. No. God, please, no. What is wrong with these people? What's wrong with that guy? I mean, so many things that I could say. But why would you say that? Who needs a Biden speech? No, I don't understand how these people are real. How these people are real. A couple of things that I wanted to say about Martina Navratilova. I was tweeting about her today, and I have a couple of things that I didn't add to today's show, and I'm going to do it right now as we speak, because we are going to be talking about Trump finally making it official that men don't belong in women's sports, and was a great win. And there will people that were cheering, of course, and people that were complaining not with Trump. Who could complain with Trump? You see, nobody. I have seen 0 Democrats complaining about Trump about this. So this is something that all Democrats, literally all Democrats, wanted. Well, not all Democrats. You know that Democrats were the ones who pushed for this. But many people who voted Democrat wanted men's out of women's sports. They didn't want men there. So they simply cannot, how to say this, criticize Trump, because that's what they wanted. And they have daughters as well. And I'm sure that they didn't like their daughters competing with men, especially in contact. Imagine a contact sport. So when push comes to shove, they have to acknowledge that Trump did something that Biden couldn't in 4 years. It was so easy. It was one single executive order, and that was it. And there's a couple of things. Martina Navratilova was in a full Trump derangement syndrome. To be fair, she was not attacking Trump today. In fact, she was complaining about the Democrats not doing what Trump just did, because that's all what Democrats can do right now. We're gonna also highlight this stupid guy here. A lot of stupid people. I need some, I don't know, some kind of special sunlight or something, some kind of superpower to not be stupefied by all these stupid people. I don't understand. How could they left my side? I'm going to read this verbatim. I'm going to read this verbatim. How could the left, my side, the clever side, the critical side, the informed side, the anti-sexist side be so deeply, obstinately stupid as to hand this victory to someone who is known of these things? Fuck's sake. These people, you don't get it, right? You don't get it. I'm going to blast you through the world. Your name is John Pike. You will be on today's show. John Pike, welcome. You don't want to be mentioned by the body language guy, but here we are, and we are about to begin the show. And with a blast. Well, not with a blast. Let me see, make sure that we have everything that we need. I mean, yes, Caroline Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt is just slain. We're going to be talking about Caroline in a bit as well. Let's make sure that everything has, that we are ready to begin. Again, has been so many things happening lately. It's hard to catch up with everything, but I will make sure, I just want to make sure that everything has captions, and at least we have 3 main topics. I tried to answer you on X, but it's complicated. I would love a tutorial from you, please. A tutorial for X. Yes, I should be doing that. I should be doing a tutorial from X, especially how to clean up your timeline, how to organize your timeline. For example, the other day, somebody asked me, Jesus, you are followed by more than 160,000 people, and you only follow around 400, like 399 right now, around 400 people. I follow much more than 400 people, only that I have them organized in private lists by topic. I follow a lot of people in AI, I follow a lot of people in video games and pop culture, but all of that is organized in lists, in private lists, so I just switch to the corresponding list. In politics, I follow much more people in politics, but that way, I get my timeline clean. But those are maybe we could do some kind of tutorial at some point. But we need to start somewhere, and the somewhere that we're going to start. The somewhere that we're going to start is going to be a bit colorful. Anna O'Grady, hello, Jesus from Ireland. You are so funny. Thank you, Anna O'Grady. I do my best to bring you all the information that you should care about. Well, in my opinion, we should care about these things, and of course, trying to make it as entertainment as possible. And the first thing, maybe not as entertainment, but I want to understand why. This is from London. New Lego. You know the Lego, right? You have played with Lego. I love Lego, by the way. Lego can be anti-LGBT because the bricks have male or female parts that are made to mate with each other, says Science Museum in London. My question is, does said this Science Museum has received money from USAID? Like, just a legit question. We're going to be talking about USAID a lot as well. But Lego can be anti-LGBT, says Science Museum. Museum seeing things queerly. Tour claims. Okay, they have a tour. This museum has a tour called Seeing Things Queerly. So maybe something is not queer, but you're going to absolutely see it queer if they want. No, if it's a tour, you most probably have to pay for that. You are going to pay for to see things with gay glasses or something like that. But I shouldn't say gay or lesbian, because one thing is for certain, and I tweeted that. I'm sure that gays and lesbians are tired of this shit. I mean, they are tired of all this nonsense. Like, why do you keep pushing us into all this when we agree that this is nonsense? We agree that this is nonsense, but it's not about gay. It's like trying to shoehorn the rights of gays and lesbians into everything else, and we already know what is everything else. And well, at least in the United States, it has been dismantled. The everything else, gays and lesbians, it's okay. But this tour claims people think the toy bricks are gendered and reinforces idea heterosexuality is the norm. People think. Which people are we talking about? Which people are we talking about? I think that you're making things up. I'm sure that you're making things up. Also, Attorney General Pam Bondi orders Department of Justice to pause all federal funding for sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities are about to find out, or at least I'm glad that people that live in sanctuary cities are going to have some breathe fresh air. Finally, not only with the ICE raids, but this will essentially cut the money. Not only all the USAID that we have seen, both outside and inside the United States, but also the cutting of the federal funds to sanctuary cities. For me, this is blissful. This is just great. Great news. Great news. We already, oh my God, I already have a super chat from Kate. Kate, okay, there was just a crazy Democrat press conference tantrum against Trump. Please, I would love your thoughts. It was very weird. Just ended on the heel. Okay, I'm going to find out. I'm going to go full Liam Neeson with that. A Democrat press conference tantrum against Trump. I'm going to look for that one. Okay, if you can send it to me through X, my DMs are open, so you can just send me that, because I would need a link. So it would be great if you can just tag me or message me with that, and we could make this show more interactive. Also, we have this, okay, something that we were talking about yesterday, and many people were confused about this. Many people were confused about Trump's Gaza plans, as in, what do you mean? Is the United States going to spend money on Gaza now? They're going to own Gaza? And Caroline Leavitt says that Trump has not committed to boots on the ground in Gaza, and that the U.S. taxpayer will not be funding the rebuilding of Gaza. As we were talking about this yesterday, that is a bargaining chip. It's a way to bring people to the negotiation table. She says, Donald Trump, who is the best deal maker on the planet, hands down, that it cannot be discussed, is going to strike a deal. Let's watch this clip. Let's listen to Caroline in action. You were praising her earlier.
See you here today.
Thank you. On Gaza, the president has spent basically his entire public career criticizing foreign entanglements, nation building, sending American troops to fight abroad, particularly in the Middle East. This plan seems like it could ultimately involve the things. Can you explain this reversal and how building and owning Gaza squares with America First foreign policy?
I would reject the premise of your question that this forces the United States to be entangled in conflicts abroad. The president has not committed to putting boots on the ground in Gaza. He has also said that the United States is not going to pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. His administration is going to work with our partners in the region to reconstruct this region. And let me just take a step back here, because this is an out-of-the-box idea. That's who President Trump is. That's why the American people elected him.
Like it's like we were saying yesterday, an out-of-the-box idea is that you realize that whatever people in the region, these countries in the region, these different factions, all these different interests, whatever they have been doing has not worked. It's not working, and if you keep expecting different results with the same actions, then you're just plain crazy. You remember that quote, right? I don't remember the original thinker who came up with that quote, but it's that so. If you keep doing the same actions, you will get the same results every single time. So what Trump is essentially doing is trying to think outside the box and maybe throwing a wrench in there to see what happens, to make people wake up and react. Hey, we actually have to do something, because it's more like it's not like a threat, but more like a negotiation tactic. You say something so outrageous, and whatever comes out of the other party, then it will be more sensible. But at least you will force the other party to do something different this time. All right? Because you have just to break the rules of the chessboard completely. And I told you that it's something that we could do as well. Something that we should do. We should learn to do this.
And his goal is lasting peace in the Middle East for all people in the region. And as I said in my opening remarks, we've had the same people pushing the same solutions to this problem for decades. And it's been made very clear to the president that the United States needs to be involved in this rebuilding effort to ensure stability in the region for all people. But that does not mean boots on the ground in Gaza. It does not mean American taxpayers will be funding this effort. It means Donald Trump, who is the best deal maker on the planet, is going to strike a deal with our partners in the region.
He did not rule out American troops in Gaza last night. Are you doing that now?
I am saying that the president has not committed to that just yet. He has not made that commitment.
That's a very interesting distinction. One thing is to not rule out something. You can say that, oh, I haven't ruled out this. And another very different thing is to say, I am committed. I am committed to this. I pledge this. Well, except if you're Amber Heard, in which case, if you pledge something, it means nothing. But it is like the way that they are trying to handle the situation with Venezuela. They need to be a bit ambiguous. And I understand why Marco Rubio, for example, speaks about Venezuela that way, and Trump speaks about Venezuela that way. That even if they reach out and take the hostages from Venezuela, Trump makes sure 1 hour after the fact that it's not that we are dealing with Venezuela in any way. He makes sure to make it clear that he doesn't recognize Maduro as legitimate. He doesn't like Maduro in charge of Venezuela, and he might do something at some point. Okay, you have to be, in these cases, you have to be quite ambiguous. Why? Because if you commit, they're going to take your word for it. The media, if any side of the media has the right, if you say, I commit to oust Maduro, I'm going to invade Venezuela and take Maduro out of Miraflores, I will be eternally grateful for that. Did I call for a coup for Venezuela live? I've done worse things. That's the reason why I cannot enter Venezuela. So just added one more stripe to the tiger. It's as simple. This is the kind of things that got me into trouble. That's why I cannot enter my country. But no, yes, that would be great. But the people who know what's going on, we know that Trump has to prioritize what is best for the United States, and of course he has to keep playing the world chess board. And to play that chessboard, he has to make this kind of announcements. He has to advance this kind of, like the tariff strategy. You have to be completely blunt at times, like with the tariffs. And if you don't react, 1 week later, the tariffs are not going to be 25%, but 50%. So you have 1 week for your economy to be destroyed, and then they react. But sometimes you have to be ambiguous, and this is absolutely normal. This is something that should be encouraged, not only for a politician, but for you as well. As in, sometimes it's dangerous, and it happens a lot with insecure people. And I'm going to talk about my perspective as, let's say, reform insecure man that always was very insecure. And to make up for that insecurity, I compromise too quickly. Like, I committed too quickly with people, because so they could like me, right? Because low self-esteem, so I will compromise, I will help them, and let's do this. And then I regretted my words, because then I was compromised with people, and in a way that, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this. I should have been a bit vague about that. But that's what happens when you are insecure. It happens to, I think it happens to so many of us. And that's why I speak from experience. That is the thing, that my experience with Venezuela, my experience with watching what Trump is doing with this negotiation, and how can we use these strategies, is the reason why we need to review this, like, step by step. Like, why Trump is being blunt and direct in some scenarios, and why is ambiguous and vague in others. That is part of the strategy. That is something that we can learn, and it's something that we absolutely need to learn. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Let me see your live chat. Because we have quite a bit some topics. And the next topic that we have, is a bit, let's say it's going to be a bit R-rated in terms of language. It's going to be a bit R-rated in terms of language, but it's necessary. And it's when we talk about Democrats. This is what I told you about Democrats that are realizing the lack of common sense in their own party. They realize, for example, that Trump has just signed the elimination of men's and women's in sports, and some of them are confused. Why didn't Democrats fail us with this? We're going to be talking about that in a minute, but some Democrats have already woken up. They have realized that they have been fooled all this time, and one of them was this sir. Isaiah Carter. I have mentioned some of his tweets before. Not only was I a Biden voter, not only did I donate money to Biden's campaign, I also starred in Biden's America the Beautiful victory video after he won. I was very loyal voter for 15 years. 15 years, and they have enraged me to a point I never thought possible. The Democratic Party betrayed every single one of their principles, and I am truly disgusted I supported them as much as I did. This is a feeling. This is a feeling of many Democrats, and it's not that they are trying to fool people into this. What do I mean by fooling people? I mean people like Mark Zuckerberg. Nobody believes Mark Zuckerberg's words, because he suddenly changed after Trump won the elections, and especially after he was sworn in. No, very different is Elon Musk, who put everything on the line for Trump to be elected. That is very different. And Isaiah was also pushing for Trump to be elected in ways because he was already criticizing the Democrats. Let's hear his words to see what is his actual opinion about the Democratic Party, which he used to be from.
This fucking political party, the Democratic Party, have lied to us about everything. They've lied about being the party of the middle class. They've lied about being the party of peace. They've lied about being the party that wants to help poor people. Okay? What the last several weeks have proven to us all is that this is a cadre of criminals and losers. And
well, when we talk about criminals, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, is you can't get more criminal than that. Not only him, but his entire family, and that's what he had to pardon everyone. And that's one of the things that's one of the things that broke the camel's back with many people on the left. They say that this is enough. Okay, this is outrageous. All the things that we were accusing that Trump was going to do, he might pardon his entire family of criminals. That's exactly what Biden did. How interesting. How the tables have turned. That's why there are so many reactions like that.
And spoiled children of affluent parents who were more concerned about looking good than actually doing good. These are people who were more concerned about looking like they were doing something for the American people than actually doing things for the American people.
Yeah, it's like this moral posturing, like, oh, look how good we are. And especially you have to be good not to the American people. No, let's embrace. There's this graphic that is almost a meme by this point. And we just have these concentric circles, and you have like this heat map and how conservatives think about, family and community and then the rest of the world, and how, for some reason, liberals have this backwards. Like first is the illegals outside the United States, then it's the immigrants, then it's the community, and family is at the end of that. You think a society can thrive with that thinking? I should be talking about that. I should be talking about that graphic soon.
And that's why I'm so angry. Because this party lied to me while stealing my tax dollars. The Democratic Party lied to us all while they brought in millions of illegal immigrants for their own political purposes for the last 4 years. 20 to 30 million illegal aliens brought in.
And then imagine right now that everything is exposed, all the corruption of USAID, that, by the way, we're going to be talking about Archewell and Meghan and Harry a bit later, and how they also got a slice of the pie. Is that legal? I don't know, but, well, it's all that is being exposed. But all this shouting and yelling on the media, all that Elon Musk doesn't know what he's doing, all these guys can't even rent a car, and they are meddling with all the budget of the United States. And it's more the people who are waking up. This is the great thing. This is the great news. It's way more the people who are ready to wake up. And I want Democrats to wake up. People who have voted blue, I want them to wake up. Some of them cannot be saved, but those that can be saved are worth, repeating the message over and over again. I'm going to give you a couple tips later on that.
And now we come to USAID being probably the largest money laundering operation in American history. Congratulations, Dems. You've outdone even Bernie Madoff. I'm disgusted beyond words. Disgusted with the waste of money. Disgusted with the waste, with the fraud. With the way that you people use color legitimacy, and the way you use black people as fucking mules to get us to push whatever fucking agenda you wanted to. The amount of division you used black people to sow upon the American people, you used us for that.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama, for that.
And I will never, ever forgive this political party. The shit that I've gone through personally. Y'all were supposed to be the party of free speech, the party of women's rights. You have immolated all of those things. And then
I'm not laughing at the guy. The guy is completely legit about all that he's saying, but it's laughable. The party of women's rights. We're going to be talking about the party of women's rights.
And as if enough weren't enough, you then decide that you're going to die on the hill of USAID, a government audit. You're trying to prevent a government audit because some of you really are trying to stay out of prison.
Yes.
We see the game now. Y'all been out here telling us that the game was rigged against certain people. Well, now we found out who the people that were rigging the game were. Congratulations. Y'all are never going to win another political race ever again. Not if I can help it.
Not if we can help it. But to be clear, it's not that we are going to neutralize Democrats or anything. In fact, I want people like AOC to keep being shouty and very, very vocal about what they stand for, because that will make us the defenders of common sense, which is I want to make it very clear. I consider myself the most important is the defender of common sense. I try to bring common sense to this show. People like AOC and Martina Navratilova, as we're going to be seeing in a minute, make our work easier. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Let me highlight your live chat. And this is glorious in so many ways. This is like a turning point. A turning point is the term that I was looking for. And when it comes with turning points, you have to understand the level of insanity that we were exposed to until very recently. The level of insanity that we were exposed to very recently. And thanks to President Trump, we are, it's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, especially in women's sports. Well, the executive order banning men from women's sports has been signed, and this is historic. I mean, it's great that this is a historic moment. It is, how do I put this? It is sad that this has to be a historic moment because this shouldn't have happened in the first place. But sometimes one need to go through things. One need to go through dark moments in one's life, in a country's life, so you can really value this stuff. Riley Gaines, I can't even tell you how much this visual means to me. It's official. President Trump signs executive order banning men from women's sports. And also, we also have that, but we also have memes, of course, and I need to mention Helen Ingram. Helen says the thing that we were all thinking. I told her I was angry that I didn't come up with this myself. Not one sniff. And it's the problem that we understood that reference. And understanding that reference is also a bad thing. But thank God, not one sniff. Thanks, Helen, for that remark. I understand that Black Belt Barrister is going to highlight your comments in his show as well. Spot on. And gays against groomers. Yeah, boom. How it started? You know how it started. Leah Thomas, who, by the way, is being sued by the other swimmers. That's great. I hope that they win that lawsuit. And how it's going, this is historic for girls and women everywhere. I'm really so happy that the tides are turning, and I really hope that this spreads to all the Western world and all the nonsense and insanity that has infected, that the woke mind virus has done to the Western world. What else do we have here? This may be the most heartwarming 2 minutes of Donald Trump ever. He loves his people. Let's play this video.
You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems.
That's so good. Oh my! How can you hate this guy? How can people hate this guy? He's funny. He's heartwarming. How many lies can you tell about Donald Trump? You know all those clips from Oprah, from The View, from Hillary Clinton herself. Like before 2014, let's say before 2014 or something like that, that everybody loved Trump either way. Everybody loved him until, well, he said that, oh, you know what? I will become president. I'm going to drain the swamp. And no, you cannot do that.
Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, do you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? Are you ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature because this is a big one, right?
This is one of those Trumpism. I'm gonna make the best signature, and that's the the symmetric gesture. I need to improve my Trump impersonation. I need to improve that.
Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Pretty good, huh? Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all. Great going, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you, kids. Here, take a pen. Thank you. I'll give some of these out, okay? Take a pen, take a pen.
Thank you so much.
Where's Riley?
I mean, I don't know if you have noticed, but it's important that if you know of any stocks of companies that make pens, just buy them right away, because we're gonna have a lot of pens given away. This is historic. Jokes aside, it's incredible that such a wholesome moment, such an important moment for women in the United States. That's why I tell you that I have my reservations of telling you to follow me on X, because yeah, there are people on X that were complaining about this. They were actually complaining about this. Maybe not exactly the gesture. It's like I had seen. I'm going to be clear to what I saw on X. Not one person criticizing Trump for this. And it's not like I'm in a bubble. I know, I use my lists to even spy on the Dems. Not one person criticizing Trump. That was a new one. That was brutal. I don't know. Maybe on Reddit. Maybe on Reddit you will get all the usual freaks complaining about the gesture itself, but in X, that is a new one to me. Only one guy saying, oh, what I see is the lack of diversity in that group of girls. And well, you know that there's always people like that. There's always going to be people that are miserable. That's the thing. That's the thing that we need to address at some point. That it was miserable people who made these things a thing, who let men in women's sports at some point. We already know that communists, socialists, Marxists, Democrats, libtards, you name them, they cannot build. They cannot construct anything. All that they can do, all that they know is to envy things or destroy things, take things away from people. Is that simple? That's what they do. And that's their misery. All that they know what to do is to spread their misery. And of course, in that, oh, right, yeah, let's do this. Let's let men just claim that they are women and not only compete in women's sports, but let them share their restrooms with the girls and, take a shower naked next to women. And if you're a woman and you complain, you're a bigot. Why? It's a woman. Don't you see? It's trans women are women. It's all that nonsense. In the United States are done with that and done for good. Only we hope that this spreads to other countries as well. Let's see that this other countries follow by example. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Where's the live chat? I don't get it, Jesus. How could a person ever think it was right to allow a man in a woman's swimsuit race against a tiny, tiny female? As SJB, we know it is chaos. Chaos. The key word is chaos, because you know that a chaotic society is much more easier to control. It's easier to control a chaotic society. It's easier to control a chaotic society. And so many people have been, trying to justify in any way what Biden did, or more like he didn't do. But because there's a thing. Now that we know that Trump signed that executive order, essentially banning men from entering women's sports, and the Democrats, or people who voted blue, most of them, if not all of them, or a huge chunk of them, are just silent, dead silent, because they hadn't realized, they couldn't realize it was so simple. It's just a stroke of a pen, like executive order. And they have been campaigning, so many of them, Democrats and liberals, were against, some of them were against men in women's sports. And they were actively campaigning against it. As there's a lady, Martina Navratilova, the famous tennis player, in which her bio says, married with a great family, used to play tennis, now just talk about it. Personal insults or telling me to stick to tennis, block. No, I'm not going to tell you, Martina, to stick to tennis. I'm going to have a few words about that in a while. But the thing is that I noticed, I stumbled upon this on my ex account, and I just forgot that she's got a very hard case of Trump derangement syndrome. But I just read this. I hate that the Democrats totally failed women and girls on this very clear issue of women's sports being for females only. And in fact, I remember that another legend, Billie Jean King, I don't remember if Billie Jean King was in fact okay with men in women's sports, because there are all sorts of people crazy about this, like deranged about this. But it so happens that Martina, which I didn't remember that she hates Trump. She said, I hate that the Democrats totally failed women. No, and I corrected her. Small correction. Saying that Democrats failed women and girls means that they were doing something, anything, to protect them. Quite the opposite, Martina. Democrats actively worked to undermine women's spaces and safety. All of it was on purpose. Stop acting like you didn't know. Again, so I began to remember Martina Navratilova. Okay, yes, she's a tennis player, right? But she rings me from something else. I think that I have reacted to her tweets in the past, and then, oh yeah, this explains everything. So they didn't know that Martina Navratilova has such levels of TDS. Now I know better. What kind of level of TDS is this? Well, you got pictures that are obviously, more than obviously, made with AI. The picture is fake in so many ways. I could count all the ways the picture is fake. And, well, what is this? This is like a Temu Madame Tussauds of Jeffrey Epstein, but whatever. It's a fake picture. And totally random account. Why is Donald Trump declassifying the JFK files but not the Jeffrey Epstein files? And Martina retweeted the guy. Okay, so there comes the community notes on X. The photo is fake, lady. But what does she do when she finds out? Somebody calls her out. Annie O'Brien, it is a fake photo and sends 2 kisses. It's like I'm trying to be kind, right? 2 kisses. Like this, I come in peace. And she says, doesn't really matter, does it? And I say, what? What are you talking about? Instead of, delete, you have a chance to delete your tweet. You have a chance to delete your post. Okay, you might hate Trump, okay, but you go as far as to use a fake photo to make a statement that is fake. It's so funny to me. And then she begins with all the totalitarian, authoritarian country. I lived in a totalitarian, authoritarian. This was from October 2024. She was about to find out that Trump was going to be her president. I live in a totalitarian, authoritarian country growing up, and I will not vote for that no now or ever. Trump is not pro-women, rapist and assaulter. That is defamatory. She could be sued. I hope that Trump sues her. He is against all things trans. A big difference. I support trans people, but not male bodies in women's sex-based spaces. She's trying to do. She would have been great. Maybe she was a tennis star. She could be a star right now in mental gymnastics. Isn't that an Olympic sport? At some point, that will be an Olympic sport. Mental gymnastics. Martina can be a star in sports again. Martina Navratilova has come back at mental gymnastics. Gold medal at, I don't know, the next Fox Olympics. Trump is not pro-women. I think it's time for her to acknowledge that she was wrong. That Trump did, with one stroke of his pen, something that Biden could have done with one stroke of his pen, a piece of paper, a Sharpie, you sign it in 10 seconds, bam! You got sports, women's sports free of men. For some reason, Biden didn't do it. Why? Why Democrats fail women? I don't get it. No, they do get it. At night, when they are going off to bed, they have that little, thorn in the side of their head saying, the Democrats are demons. The Democrats are demons. They did this on purpose. Yeah, it's like the full Batman voice. Democrats are demons. They did this on purpose. And I am vengeance. No, this is, and you have people like this. John Pike, I'm gonna make you famous right now. How could the left, John Pike on X, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm going to make him famous. How could the left, my side, the clever side, the critical side, the informed side, the anti-sexist side, be so deeply, obstinately stupid as to hand this victory to someone who is known of these things? They either don't see it or they do see it and they have to look the other way because they have no way of justifying this. That's why none of them, at least on X, can criticize Trump. And they're waking up. They're realizing, oh my God. Biden could have done it at any point. One executive order, one stroke of a pen. But he didn't. You know the answer, but you don't want to accept it. But the good thing is, they are accepting it. They are realizing. They are understanding all the times that they have been lied to. He was reacting to this tweet from Zachary Elliott. Trump signs the executive order banning males from female sports, protecting women and girls' rights to fair and safe competition. How easy is that? A stroke of a pen not only makes women safer, but also is making a lot of blue voters to wake up. How cool is that? Let's welcome them. We were missing you to common sense. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. This is so great. It's so great in many ways. How actions beat, well, basically everything else. Basically everything else. And the hypocrites. The hypocrites are just collecting L's. Just collecting L's. And I'm so glad that they are collecting all the L's. And well, the one that are collecting L's, another, let's say, person. Another one who is collecting L's is the bishopess. You know that we have talked about her a couple times in our show. The bishop who chastised Trump's immigration policies, revealed to have pocketed $53 million in taxpayer money. I think I mentioned this briefly in one of my other shows. I think it was on the Sunday show. But as we dig deeper into USAID and how all that money has been channeled, she pocketed $53 million in taxpayer money, and you know that she did that for immigration, for illegal immigration. To help illegal immigration. Now, this is a thing that the moment that I want to give her a certain benefit of the doubt. Wait a minute. How much money did you pocket for yourself, and how much money did you actually use for to help illegal immigration? I mean, it's not that I care, right? Because it would be interesting. What is the worst of the two evils? I don't get it. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting conversation. What do you think is worse? That she pocketed the money for herself, or that she used that to actually help illegal immigrants to enter the United States and settle in the United States? I don't know. I think the second. I think if I have to choose, I think that I would prefer that she pocketed the money, because at least, she could, buy her Bentley and all that stuff, and not bring more trouble and unvetted people into the United States who could cause crimes and more stuff, all the stuff that we have been seeing. And as Joshua Lysak did the numbers, that's $14,000 a head for essentially human trafficking. In 2023 alone, her charity or organization or whatever raked in $53 million to resettle 3,600 individuals. 3,600 individuals, according to the New York Post. That is $14,000 a piece. That is $14,000 a piece. And but wait, there's more. There's this between all the things that we are finding out. We have the Department of Health and Human Services. I think this is. We see the recipients. I don't know if you can read this. You see it. You see the words. I'm gonna read them for you. Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service Incorporated. Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service Incorporated. Lutheran Immigration, and you repeat that over and over again. What else? Let's focus on this ones. And let's see the amounts and the dates. November 18, all this is 2024. November 18, $700,000. November 18, okay, again, other $700,000. November 22nd, $281,000. November 25th, $750,000. This is crazy. December 6th, almost $500,000. December 10th was a good one, $4 million. And December 11, what the? $76 million. What? What is this? And yes, you already are mentioning the winners in here. You're already mentioning the winners. Like in December 18th, $97 million, close to 100 million. And it's like the end of the year, December 30, $140 million. Again, I have not personally verified these numbers. I have to say that this is alleged. But there's one site that you need to be aware of, which is datarepublican.com. It's Data Republican, and you can follow Data Republican on X. That is the account that is getting all these databases, and it's organizing a search service on his website, datarepublican.com, in which you can go and you can make a search and see where did the money go in every single instance, and then you can track where the money went in all these charity schemes. And we will talking about Meghan Harris, Archewell in a minute. But it is hard to comprehend, as Clandestine says. So let me get this straight. I've been busting my arse my whole life, trying to make ends meet, while the government steals my income and uses it to fund trans musicals in Ireland and sex changes in Guatemala. And you would ask, why would they do this? I saw a tweet that asked that same question. Why were they so obsessed on pushing LGBTQ propaganda in every country known to man? And I'm gonna tell you again why they cannot do. You know that they are Marxists, and the center of Marxist philosophy is the struggle of the classes. The problem is that we currently most countries nowadays live in such a wealthy society in which there is essentially not much of a struggle of class anymore. As in, internet has become the great leveler of opportunities in many ways. And not only knowledge, but business opportunities. So they had to come up with another kind of a struggle. If they couldn't have social classes, they had to fabricate, they had to manufacture another kind of class struggle. And in this case, is all the LGBTQ nonsense that, even as I told you at the start of this show, even gays and lesbians are tired of this shit. Are tired of that shit, of being shoehorned, of being attached to a movement that essentially wants to deconstruct, destroy what is the basic principle of the family. It's that simple. And many people, many gays and lesbians want to be left alone, don't want to do anything with this. But no, let's use all this LGBTQ propaganda in all these countries so we can spread that and make make this struggle something normal. After all that gays and lesbians had to fight for their rights for so many decades, now let's use that. Let's fabricate that for our own gain. That's what Democrats and liberals, the ones who are in charge, are doing. The good thing is that the people who have voted for them are waking up and really fast. But we need to push onwards. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Oh yeah, globalists, Marxists, commies, just different names on same thing. Emily Jo. Emilia Perez drama is hilarious. Oh my god, I need to talk about that film at some point. Haven't really had time to talk about Emilia Perez. We need to talk. Oh my god, we need to talk about a certain lady. We need to talk about somebody. I thought that I was never going to come back to my show, but she's here again. Who do you think we're gonna be talking about now? Who do you think we are welcoming to our show once more? Who do you think we are talking about this in my show right now? Somebody, a lot of people are getting rich. Hey, B. A lot of people are getting rich. I couldn't believe. Let me tell you something. I couldn't believe that Kamala Harris was going to be another thing again, but here we are. We're not going to do a Kamala Harris analysis. No, I did many of them in the past. I am still recovering from those analyses. I got a good therapist that is helping me overcome, the nightmares and the loss of brain cells. But here we are. We're thriving. And news, 60 Minutes edited out of one of Kamala Harris. 60 Minutes, you know that they were sued for kind of obstruction and colluding with the elections, trying to, fix the answers of Kamala's to that 60 Minutes interview. And in doing that, it was the worst thing that they could do. Why? Because they portrayed a fake version of Kamala. They essentially distorted what we saw in the interview in the benefit of a candidate. So they essentially destroyed their credibility, and that is nice. Again, the more they talk, the more they do these things, the more the mainstream media messes up, the better is for us, common sense crusaders. Oh, that sounds great. Common sense crusaders. I need to write that down. Common sense crusaders. That would sound great in a t-shirt. Common sense crusaders. We common sense crusaders, we gain from their messing up. 60 Minutes edited out one of Kamala Harris' rambles on the Russia-Ukraine war, clipped in a strong statement instead of about Putin sitting in Kyiv right now. Edited version. So this is thanks to Colin Rogg. You can follow Colin on X. I'm gonna be watching this clip thanks to Colin Rogg. Here we are. Here we go.
Would you meet with President Vladimir Putin to negotiate a solution to the war in Ukraine?
Not bilaterally without Ukraine. No. Ukraine must have a say in the future of Ukraine.
As president, would you support the effort to...
But by the way, I need to show this, interrupt this a few times, because if I played it too much, I will get it's like the doll from Squid Game. There's gonna be issues with copyright. But I tried to watch the full unedited hour, and I just could stand like 10 minutes. Like I couldn't go any further than this.
Expand NATO to include Ukraine.
Those are all issues that we will deal with if and when it arrives at that point. Right now, we are supporting Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russia's unprovoked aggression.
Can you imagine the guy who had to edit this? Like the hours. That's why they say that it took some time from the recording of the interview to the actual release of the interview. This must have been scrambling to make something out of nothing.
Donald Trump, if he were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. He talks about, oh, he can end it on day one. You know what that is? It's about surrender.
So there comes the unedited word salad. I have enhanced the volume of the sound because this of course was not adjusted for the source.
Did you meet with President Vladimir Putin to negotiate a solution to the war in Ukraine?
Not bilaterally without Ukraine, no. Ukraine must have a say in the future of Ukraine.
Yeah, of course, this is a classic Kamalism. Ukraine has to have a say in the future of Ukraine. Yeah. Dancers dance, writers write, YouTubers YouTube, as in the verb, to YouTube.
How about, as president, would you support the effort to expand NATO to include Ukraine?
Those are all issues that we will deal with if and when it arrives at that point. Right now, we are supporting Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russia's unprovoked aggression and doing what we can to continue to build and strengthen the alliance around the support for Ukraine's right to be an independent nation, free from having its...
Notice that she is trying to think on the fly. It's not working well for her because she's making this stops after every word, scrambling to know, okay, I forgot the things that my aides told me how to speak, how to say this stuff. I forgot all of this.
Borders forcefully taken by Russia, and we are going to continue to work closely with our NATO allies to continue to reinforce America's alliance in the context of NATO. Again, in this election, there's a real difference between me and the former president.
Again, you know that she had to mention Trump.
I believe in reinforcing the strength of NATO, understanding, again, it is the greatest military alliance the world has ever known. Donald Trump would pull us out of NATO. Donald Trump, if he were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. Let's be clear about that. He talks about, oh, he can end it on day one. You know what that is? It's about surrender. Achieving peace and an end to this war is not synonymous with surrender. Those two things are not the same.
No, that is a bit obvious, but, well, there's this other clip. Propaganda. This is from Amuse. Thanks, Amuse. 60 Minutes allows Kamala Harris to lie while the cameras are rolling. When they're off, they confront her, asking her for the truth. Let's see this part.
Madam Vice President, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Good to be with you.
Oh, can we just get just a little bit of a question, please, so I can get it over the shoulder shot?
Yeah.
1 second. Just a second.
You're going to try to, what, repeat this? What kind of cameraman needs another shot of an interview?
Okay, thank you.
You need me talking?
Yes, sir.
Well, we were talking about how you're going to pay for it. And I mean, I truly do mean it. Your plans are logical, make logical sense.
No, they don't. Because when he asked the question, how she was going to pay for it, she didn't say how she was going to pay for all this. She began to say that all these Nobel laureates say that my policies are better than Trump's, but she never said how she was going to pay for it. So he's trying to scramble some kind of common sense into this, and he can't.
The way Washington works is not logical. So how are you going to convince a divided Congress that what you say, your plans, are something that they should all agree to and provide to the American people when they've shown no inclination to do that up to this point?
I mean, he was the guy at this point was speaking like Tim Walz's wife. That she speaks like she's speaking to a kindergartner. It's like he's making an effort. Okay, Mr. Vice President, I understand that you have some limitations. I realize that you have some limitations. Let me try to put this easier for you.
Is that what you needed?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you needed?
Sounds, please, for room time.
They have the silence, 30 minutes of silence. That is easy for Kamala. Shouldn't the F up for 30 seconds. And then, there we go.
Cameras are off.
How will you?
It's going to be taxes. It's going to be literally, if the economists, I mean, they're from each spectrum.
But I hear what you're saying about the economists. This is true.
Yeah.
But Congress is not the economy.
He tried to insist that she doesn't have. It's gonna be taxes. It's gonna be taxes. It's worse. Imagine the bullet that the United States dodged. Imagine the bullet that the United States dodged. People have no idea. People have no clue. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. And your comments are always gold. Your comments are always gold for me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's time to talk about how Harry and Meghan have received the money from USAID. Oh, Harry and Meghan. Sir, please keep it classy by controlling full language. Darren 64. Dear Darren 64. Let's say I was making my show family friendly up to this point. But my show was mostly educational. It's still educational, right? But sometimes I can understand the sentiment. I can understand that, oh, maybe some people have told me, you know that people, oh, I like to suggest your topics, your videos to my teens. So sometimes quite of a letdown when you swear and use the F word, when you say, all this F and S and all the R and this and, you make us feel uncomfortable. I'm going to tell you something, dear Darren 64. Again, I acknowledge, I understand your request. I respect your suggestion, and you are very polite about this, and I'm really thankful that you're polite about that request. But the problem is, dear Darren, his name is Darren 64. Darren 64, the things that are happening in the world, in the United States, it's, let's say that sometimes are so outrageous that I find it hard as a human being, okay, not even as a Latino, when you know that you are here maybe for my accent. It reminds me of Ricky Ricardo or Ricardo Montalban or Antonio Banderas. I don't know. It's maybe you're here for the accent, you're here for the humor, you're here for the news, a bit of everything, a bit of the body language and that stuff. But sometimes the things that I see in front, right here, React Live, because I just drag the videos and I haven't watched the videos. I just add the captions and I just begin rolling the camera and the show starts and I haven't watched the videos. Sometimes it's so outrageous that I have no other option to say fuck it. Like with Ilhan Omar the other day. When she began to, I was raised in a refugee camp. Fuck yourself blind. I don't care. My only question is, what can you do for your constituents? Nothing else matters. We don't care about your sub story. We couldn't care less what were your struggles. Nobody voted for you or for anybody, for AOC or for Biden or for Kamala because of your struggles or you were born into a middle-class family or whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And sometimes I see this. I remember all that happened to my country in Venezuela, and I can't help but say, fuck you all the way. I don't know. It's like I cannot name a city because I wouldn't know which city to name. But yeah, sometimes I need to react that way. I just need to react that way. And I know in some ways, even if my show is not family friendly anymore, that I'm channeling so many things that you want to say. And I know that so many of you have anonymous accounts on X or anonymous accounts here on YouTube, are afraid of being fired from their job. You are around the water cooler and you're working with all these libtards and all the, oh, you feel all that Trump is doing? He is destroying our country. And you're saying, oh, yes, such a shame. You're enjoying yourself around the water coolers with all these libtards, and you come here to my show to just watch me let it rip sometimes. Because fuck it, that's what we need. After all that has happened, after all that is happening in the world, this is what we need. So forgive me if at some point my show was family friendly, and it's no longer family friendly. It's R-rated, explicit lyrics, strong language. Imagine that is a Limp Bizkit album or something. Okay, it's a sample. Again, I acknowledge 100% your request during 64, but sometimes harsh words are needed because they convey the feeling of the people, of my people, of what's the name? The Common Sense Crusaders. We are the Common Sense Crusaders. We are officially today, February 6th, 2025, we are the Common Sense Crusaders. That sounds great. It sounds catchy. Common Sense Crusaders. Can imagine that in a huge Common Sense Crusaders convention. Let's like big meeting. And I go out like Citizen Kane with my face very big. It's going full Citizen Kane. My face, it's like in the wall, and I just out and yeah, I'm a big fan of movies. My family friendly or not, it really depends on the family. Yeah, Veronica. Oh yeah, that's so again, I sometimes I say F it, effing when I want to control myself. I don't want to make this like a carnival of the F words. It's not idea either way, but sometimes, man, when you're watching my raw reaction, and so many of you like it raw, and I'm talking about the reaction, that's what this show is about. But especially, I noticed that reaction, like blind reaction to videos. Like, oh, this video is trending, just putting it here. I don't know what people are going to say in this video. I'm just going to react that live. Things that can happen. Yeah, Salsila, your cinema. That's something that we need. Actual reaction. So many of you already know that I no longer use scripts. I used to write scripts for my videos. I no longer have a teleprompter installed. I had pictures of my studio with my teleprompter. I no longer have it. I just have a camera. That's why I have more space around me than I used to have, because the teleprompter was a bit bulky. No teleprompter, no problemo. This is completely unscripted. This is completely raw. This is completely off the cuff. And I'm sure that you like it. At the same time, the reaction and your requests and your remarks and your suggestions are what, literally the heart and soul of this show. Again, I listen to all your suggestions. I listen to all your recommendations. I read all your emails. I read all your messages. I read them all, and I try to make the best show on earth, hands down. So, in that regard, speaking of best show, speaking of not let's how to put this. We need to talk about something. Sometimes in my YouTube career, making videos for YouTube, creating content, that sometimes I've covered body language of celebrities. Sometimes I've covered the royals and non-royals. Now I'm covering U.S. politics. And sometimes my universes have this kind of Marvel metaverse and they collide. The timelines collide. And this is one of those times. And we're going to be talking about Harry and Meghan and Archewell, that organization or whatever they call it, and USAID, the USAID scandal, and how money is channeled from one hand to another, and in it somehow ends up at Archewell, from the American taxpayers right into Harry's hand. Is that legal? Is that something? Thanks, Christine Frueba, who made sure to highlight this from the website that I told you earlier, datarepublican.com. You can go to datarepublican.com and look for anything. And she happened to look for Archewell, and she found this. Here, this is a mistake. Harry is not HRH anymore. Prince Harry pocketing American worker tax dollars through USAID. Didn't we start a revolution over this in 1776? Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. You can see, I'm going to show you the end. Let's start from the end. You see the Archewell Foundation received around what? It was like 6 million or something like that. It was a lot. From what? They received, Archewell Foundation received those millions from Fidelity Investments Charitable Gift Fund. And this is what is interesting about this website that I was talking about, that datarepublican.com. You can see how the money has flowed from one organization to another. It's like a huge money laundering scheme in which some NGOs request money and then they channel it to some other NGOs, and who knows in which hands it ends up. And how is that money used? Can you imagine if this is just the very tip of the iceberg? Look at this. We have Fidelity Investments Charitable Gift Fund, but they have been given money by Schwab Charitable Fund, World Vision Incorporated, the Board of Trustees of the Leland, what is that? Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors Incorporated, and they have received money from World Resources Institute, Institute of International Education, the trustees of Columbia University, the National Endowment for Democracy, Global Communities, and Communities Foundation of Texas Incorporated. Meanwhile, those have received money from New America Foundation, National Democratic Institute for what? We don't know for what. East West Management Institute Incorporated, Freedom House, Pact Incorporated. Oh my God, and these guys have 9 figures in here. What? And all the way to Internews Network and Consortium for Elections and something else. All that, you see a whole tree. All these organizations are on it. And it so happens that at the end, you see money getting into Archewell Foundation. How is this possible? This is only a tree of the money flowing into one organization into another. We don't know how is this money being spent. Is this lining people's pockets? Is this doing the things that these organizations, these NGOs, these charities claim to be doing? We don't know. We have no idea. There's no way until we outed them. Also, the Silicon Valley Community Foundation also channeled USAID funds, eventually donating $10 million to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archewell Foundation through the usual NGOs. There are several moving parts. Here's only one explaining the money trail. Yes, it was the grantee, $10 million. $10 million. Look at that. So, all this, again, this is Elon Musk, who hired these 6 genius kids who developed these AI tools to be able to deconstruct all these things that have been happening in the government spending and all that we have been talking about in the last 3 or 4 shows is just USAID. Only USAID. We're not talking about Department of Defense or the IRS or anything. This is the greatest, I don't know, money laundering scheme in the history, I would say in the history of humankind. How many people are getting just, what is it? What is the term? I get in, all this moolah. Prince Harris African Park Charity has USAID taxpayer monies funneled through many of the same anon NGOs as Archewell. The mysterious Fidelity Charitable Gift Fund, Leland, which is from Stanford University, Tides, Rockefeller, Schwab Charitable Fund, Democrat PACs, and World Vision. Soap, rinse, and repeat. Money laundering over and over again. There's also Markle's mother, Doria, an unemployed yoga instructor, CFO and CEO of Phantom Elder Care Company, Loving Kindness, which has no brick and mortar address except a P.O. box at Meg's Beverly Hills agent's office. What's the F? Oh my God. Like Archewell, it's incorporated in Delaware, the Secretary of State where grant-heavy charitable nonprofits can legally spend 95% on expenses. You receive $100 million and you only have to give $5 million for actual charity and you can pocket the rest, the other $95 million. This is horrific. I mean, that's why you saw the United States debt rising like one trillion every 9 months or something like that. I don't remember the stats, but it was baffling. How can this be happening? Yeah, theft, pure and simple. James, you're spot on. Highlight your comment. Yeah, it's a Chief Fraud Officer, Chief Embezzlement Officer. You're spot on, Princess Dumberton. Spot on. And this is the account that I suggest that if you're on X, you should follow. Data Republican. He's the one who is making this. It's an anon account, of course. I'm sure that needs his or her identity to be protected. It's important to understand that funded is fungible, meaning USAID dollars do not directly flow into these NGOs in a literal sense. Instead, the money moves through multiple layers with various entities handling and redistributing it. For example, SEPs receive substantial USAID funding for global initiatives, but ultimately channels much of it to partisan NGOs. Rather than focusing solely on individual grants, it's more important to recognize the broader pattern of funding distribution and influence. Donor-advised funds are a big part of the equation. I will update the website messaging to better reflect this. So this is a constant update. And well, very influential accounts on X like Amuse are already ringing the bell on this. Meghan Markle and Prince Harris Archewell Foundation received $13 million. $13 million from the government, but the IRS is restricting details about the source. Was it USAID? The foundation EIN is 8522139963, funnel millions to other left-wing NGOs. Why does the US government need help from Meghan to give away taxpayer money? Is everyone's question. But again, that question, we're gonna have answers pretty soon. And I have an idea that Harry might be doing a surprise trip anywhere away from the United States real soon. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Oh, this is so fun. I love my job. This is really so fun. I was a bit of a lack of energy today, but you know, as we move and move, there's more and more energy. I feel the flow of energy here. Everything that is happening is so fun. so fun to watch and witness. I don't know how to put this. And there are a couple topics that I want to cover. Some of you, I told you that there's one body language topic that we were going to be talking about body language finally. We're going to be talking about body language finally. And the body language topic that I wanted to talk about is about something that so many of you care about and so many of you wanted me to talk about. The body language analysis that I should have done a long time ago, like days ago, was from Catherine, this clip of Catherine, Princess of Wales. So many of you have asked for me to analyze this. I told you like 2 days ago, this was pending, and this is the moment. Like, when I'm going to play the video, I'm going to play the video with the sound, and this is that she steps out of this car and she begins to stride with little jumps to greet people. And we're going to see here greeting people. But it's something that I want to say about Catherine in here. You know that there's something. She begins, of course, to talk about, talk with a child. And she's got that contagious smile that, you know, Catherine has that aura. I don't know how to put this in words. You know that for a long time in my body language research career, I wanted to synthesize everything, gestures, voice tone. How can I synthesize things? How can I study things in a way that we can describe things in a scientific way? But this is the kind of things that I look at them, and there is no scientific way to explain this. You cannot do a peer-reviewed study of how Catherine has that something that you cannot describe. You can name it like charisma, like she is. So many of you have words for her. She seems more genuine, says Kay Ross. I'm going to highlight your comments about her. She is sweet, says in neocortex. There's something about her. Could be charisma as well, just as Priscilla says. There's so many things. She comes back. Oh yeah, it's like I forgot to put the banana. Let me bring the banana back. So I was looking at this, and I could say so many things about it. I could deconstruct her body language, but it's the way that she behaves, like she's actually glad of seeing you. I mean, I've studied so many people along the years, and I sometimes ask the question in this kind of magnetic. Veronica, that's another word, magnetic. People that have this magnetism and you don't know why. You like to be in their vicinity. You know that these people arrive, and it's people like Catherine. Maybe you have a friend, or maybe you have a family member that they just arrive, and you instantly feel like you feel great. You feel fine. This is great. You like to be around them. She's got. We cannot see that in this video. But something that video can convey is the effect that she has through her body language. But because the only way to see actual aura, the aura of a person, is in person, right? You just feel it. You see something, and we can only see this through a camera. Sadly, it would be nice that we could see Catherine like in person doing this, and you could see, okay, there's something that I cannot synthesize. I cannot synthesize the way that I could say, okay, there are a couple of things. First and foremost, the most important thing that I saw was I could say, the way that she leans in with her head, the way that she smiles, the way that she approaches people, and with that energy, that says a lot in terms of technical body language. But no matter how much technical body language I express things like this. I'm going to try to things like this. Things the way that she is looking at the kid. I think it's a girl. I don't know if it's a girl of a boy with long hair. The way that she holds the kid's hand. The way that she looks at the kid. There's so many things. This is the kind of moment that I say, no, I cannot synthesize. You know that I've tried to do that. You know that I've worked so hard on what I titled the kinesics code, like a code to deconstruct the entirety of human behavior in a book, to be able to decode any sort of human behavior, reduce it to a technical statement, like sometimes it's like it's not like a robot, but able to synthesize it. Can we synthesize it? Can I describe in scientific terms the effect that Catherine has on people? I cannot. This, Amanda has a great description, gentle and graceful. How that is undeniable. How do we speak about that in terms of science? How can we measure gentle and graceful? Those are her qualities. Those are her qualities. And this is what is fascinating about body language. There's this bit of mystical part that I can understand why so many people say, oh, well, body language is not a science, it's pseudoscience, and that is great. And that is great. Yeah, we have a scientific part. There are things that we can prove scientifically. There are approaches that we can say in a scientific way just by looking at people. Not that we have, let's say, gestures that work in all situations, that apply in every single situation. Look at this, that the kid throws the banana. I don't know if it was on purpose. And she even is like laughing at that. Oh, I don't want the banana. Oh, she goes and retrieves the banana. I think that is what's so fascinating about body language in the first place. That I don't consider myself a great researcher in body language. Not anymore. My focus on body language has changed a lot. If you want to find one of the greatest scientists about body language and human behavior in the world, his name is David Matsumoto from, I think he's in San Francisco, but it's David Matsumoto, hands down, is the GOAT. When it comes to science and nonverbal communication, he's the guy. He's your guy. And I've spoken to Dr. Matsumoto, Professor Matsumoto, and the guy is an effing legend. But at the same time, I've spoken to Joe Navarro on the other side, that was highly empirical from his work at the FBI. Great guy, by the way. And yes, some things you can only pick from watching people over and over again. Hands down, the GOAT, one of the GOATs of greatest of all time in body language was Milton Erickson, who founded Ericksonian hypnosis. And because he got polio very early as a kid, then he developed this way of observing people. He could only observe people because he was constrained to a bed. So I think that his approach, just being able to observe people, that's something that we need to do. Ultimately, I can guide you in some hints here and there, but I wanted to show you this clip because this describes what is so fascinating about what I do and what gathered us in the first place around body language. Why I was the body language guy, I'm Jesus Enrique Rosas. I talk about many other topics now, but in many ways, this makes body language more interesting because there's always going to be that part that we cannot describe, that we cannot reduce to a synthesis, that we cannot explain in scientific terms. And in my opinion, that makes it even more fascinating. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Yeah, this was a great moment, a great example that how body language can be so fun to watch and to analyze. And yes, I had my moments. I have moments in my career. I was obsessed on classifying every tiny movement of the hands, of the arms, of everything, every single classification. Essentially, what Paul Ekman did to the face, I wanted to do to everything else, to the body at large, to the voice, to how groups behaved. It was a massive undertaking, but the more that if I just focus on, let's say, just the arms, how we use hands and arms to communicate, our elbows, our shoulders, you realize that you could write an entire book about that. And you realize that you would write an entire book and you will miss the forest because of the trees. You will focus so much on the trees that you will miss the forest. And I don't want you to miss the forest. I want you to look at the whole thing. That's why it's so important in my shows, in my analysis, that you see both body language and what people say. But sometimes what people say makes no sense. Like yesterday, we were analyzing that Meghan Markle video, and we realized that what she said made no sense whatsoever. The story of the girl, she left the shirt inside the washing machine, but she was looking for the shirt. But you know where the shirt was? Oh no, that doesn't make sense. So it was pretty much unnecessary to analyze Meghan's body language. But I miss those days of the Markle Claw and stuff. There's one more one more topic that I wanted to talk about, and it's gonna be good for. It's gonna make a lot of you happy, and it's about one of my favorite topics that I don't get to talk about much. I mentioned this topic passingly sometimes. You know that one of my favorite topics is AI, and in this case, you're going to realize that AI can be much more useful than you can imagine, not only to make memes and to help you with some tasks. We don't want the Terminator part. We don't want the AI to take people's jobs, but in some instances, AI can be used for good, and this is I had a lot of fun with this. I was laughing a lot with this because British mobile operator O2 created an AI voice bot called Daisy. A bot is essentially a robot that speaks on your behalf on the phone. It's like he picks up the phone, or you can activate it and it begins speaking like you to combat phone scammers. Maybe when they identify numbers that are scams from those countries that you know that they have this huge scamming operations calling people, especially the elderly, to steal their money, then maybe we could use AI to deceive those scammers. That would be fun. Daisy is an elderly grandmother. Oh, how cute. That is a nice start, because you know that these people target elderly grandmothers that isn't very good with technology. She's a bit hard of hearing and goes on random tangents about knitting and food recipes. Scammers waste time talking to her, and Daisy is an AI. You need to listen to this, and you're gonna have a good laugh at expense of these scammers. You have let me see if I can make better captions for this, because sometimes you need to use better tools, right, to fight scammers. You need better tools to fight scammers. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to. You can have scams through WhatsApp. You could have impersonations. But let's take a look at this. This is a conversation.
See an application named Play Store, Play, Play Store.
Dear, did you say pastry? I'm afraid I'm not quite on the right page.
It's called look for the app that's called the Play Store. They're trying to redeem. These scams are usually that they make you to redeem a gift card in Google's Play Store. You have an Android phone and you buy a gift card and you essentially send these people, they send you to the Play Store to buy a gift card and then send them the code. So they try to push that. And, oh, you say play? I thought that you said pastry. And she's got that lovely British accent. This is so fun.
No, ma'am. I'm talking about the Play Store application. Play Store. It's not pastry.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm a bit muddled. So Play Store. I'm trying to get there. My screen seems to
Open up the application. Open the application.
Friendly reminder that Daisy is an AI with a lovely British grandma voice. It's like Mrs. Doubtfire, but combating scammers.
Oh dear, I think I clicked something wrong.
Open up the application.
It seems to have gone black. Is that supposed to happen? How do I get it back?
But you can't see anything right now.
That's right, dear. Just blackness, like the night sky. I hope it comes back soon. What should I do?
Just blackness like the night sky. This is even poetic. To make the guy waste time.
Turn on your mobile phone, ma'am. Turn on your mobile phone.
Oh dear, let me just check the buttons. I think I pressed something. It was so long since I turned this on. All right, dear. I'm going to press and hold this button for a moment.
Like, ma'am, if you're aware of that and you don't know how to use your mobile phone, like if you're wasting our time, then you're going to lose all of your money, ma'am.
You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your money.
Because somebody's trying to take out your money and we're just trying to upgrade the security.
Oh, I've got the home screen back.
Yeah, just open up the Play Store application, ma'am. Try to find out the Play Store. Play Store.
Oh dear, I see a triangle icon, but I'm not sure if it's the right one. It could be a slice of pie. You know, my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
I see a triangle. It could be a slice of pie. It could be a slice of pie. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. This is just cinema. Pure cinema.
Let me just squint at it.
Let me just squint. Notice, can you imagine an AI coming up with this? This is just great. Let me just squint to see if this is a slice of pie of what is this triangle that I see.
Just try to find out the written icon. It's Play Store. Play, Play Store.
You try to play the icon of the Play Store, ma'am. Play Play Store, madam, ma'am.
Oh, bless, it's still like loading. I hope it doesn't take too long, dear. Do you have any lovely pastries in your area? I do.
You have any lovely pastries in your area? I mean, I can imagine the guy saying, "Oh my god, I'm so close of getting my $500 gift card. I'm so close, but this lady's talking about pastries. It's talking about pastries. Why?
Loading. I hope it doesn't take too long, dear. Do you have any lovely pastries in your area? I do adore a good scone. If you're interested, I could share my recipe for a lovely...
Ma'am, I'm not interested in your recipes, okay?
Oh dear, you sound a bit frustrated.
Oh dear, you sound a bit frustrated. This is I could watch this for hours. I have to confess that I watched this video. I had watched this video once already, but it's so fun. I can imagine. It's how impressive how our neurons work, because you can imagine in with your mind's eye, Daisy, you know, the lovely grandma trying to oh dear, I don't know, you sound a bit frustrated. Maybe you want one of my pastry recipes and try. It's incredible, right? How an AI can fool us, even if we know that it's an AI, even if we know that it's synthetic, that it's fake. But it's so fun seeing a scammer just wasting time and getting frustrated with this lovely lady that doesn't exist. Again, it's that it all depends. It's like every tool, right? It's like hammers. It's like kitchen knives. It's like AI. It all depends the way that you use the tool. And sometimes the way that you use the tool can be really fun to watch. In the right hands, of course. Yeah, so many of you have say that, oh, Jesus, you are pro AI. Yes, I'm pro AI in the sense that this thing cannot be stopped, and we might as well. I'm pro AI in the sense that we might as well try to take advantage of it as much as possible, and if we can use that to be safer in some ways, to not have to deal with the scammers, like in this case, and to be more protected, when I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I have so much fun with this topic. But again, you have an opinion about AI, let me know about that in the comments. Today's show was a great hit. Today's I love to chat with her. She's so sweet. You know, full Irish breakfast, that is the thing that we were talking the other day. That is a bit, it's promising, but it's creepy at the same time. What if you feel lonely and you want to talk to Daisy? Hey, can I talk to Daisy and talk about her? Maybe Daisy has some anecdotes about the British countryside, about her life in the British countryside. It's rather creepy, right? It's like she sounds so warm and lovely that you actually want to talk to her. That's when we have an actual problem. What if we get lost in that conversation, and it's like we get connected to this synthetic British grandma? It's I for one welcome my AI masters. Yeah, so at some point, I've told you this is a concern. You could say, oh, how come this quote unquote men are falling prey of this AI girlfriend? So first they are fall prey of these OnlyFans models, now are AI girlfriends. Who could fall prey for an AI girlfriend? How pathetic. But then you listen to Daisy and you say, oh, that would be a nice conversation. Maybe I just want to have a short conversation. Or maybe you actually want the pastry recipe. Why not? Maybe you can call Daisy and go, hey, Daisy, can you guide me step by step? Oh, that is interesting. You can call the AI or have the AI in your phone, and you don't only have the pastry recipe, but you have AI Daisy guiding you through those steps. Oh, yeah, that would be a great idea. Why not? It's so interesting. The possibilities are endless, and I can understand. Oh, what about the human connection? Yeah, but what about somebody who I don't know wants maybe have neighbors are not around or friends are not around, and they want just a quick chat with an AI. Maybe it's like watching Netflix, but in this case, you're gonna make some pastries, and you have the recipe, and you have an interactive way of making the recipe, and it's not that synthetic Alexa voice or Siri, but it's a more heartwarming approach. I mean, now that I think of it, has that 1% of terrifying. It's not that Daisy is gonna go full Terminator with us, but that is the problem. The issue, just to finish the topic on AI, my issue with AI is not exactly that they are gonna go full Terminator on us. It's that we get lost in the fake and synthetic warmth that is not really there. And we are watching and listening the worst version of this. At some point, this is going to be so good that we will not be able to distinguish if we're talking to an AI or a real human being. That's what the Turing test is about. The Turing test is, well, being able to prove if what you're talking to is a human or an AI. I think the AI, for many people at least in the world, this AI can fool us. I want an AI with a Batman voice. Why do you want an AI with a Batman voice when you have mine? You have my Batman voice, and I can do the Batman voice whenever you want. I can be your Batman all day long. Yeah, and remember, I am vengeance. Yes, we are the common sense crusaders. And I can say this. I can say that. I can read the Taken script with my Batman voice. We can have a nice Liam Neeson Batman crossover. We already had that with Batman Begins, by the way. But well, you know it. You know it. This is what we are here for, to have a good time. Oh my God, so many super chats. I haven't read any of you. Kate, I read your super chat. There was just a crazy Democrat press conference tantrum against Trump. Please, I would love your thoughts. I'm gonna look for it. Thank you, Kate. Claudette Brule, Jesus, have you watched the Kash Patel Senate hearing from this morning? I haven't, Claudette. I was a bit busy this morning. My mornings have been a bit chaotic. Let's say, even with the time difference with Venezuela, the Venezuela stuff is not looking good. But I thank you, by the way, for all your prayers and all your best wishes. I sent you the link to the Hill press conference in your DM on Twitter. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Kate. Thank you for that. I'm gonna look for it. I'm going to look for it. Amanda MC super chat. This gives why that's not highlighted. Amanda, your avatar is an Oreo cake. Why are you doing this to me? It's an Oreo cake. Look at that. This gives a lot of little girls in the sports. Yes, a lot of little girls in the sports. Gives hope for what Donald Trump did today. Thank you, Amanda. You're on point. Joshua Grant, Liars Incorporated. Oops. Oh yeah, Liars Incorporated. I think that you were talking about Meghan and Harry. Oh, I forgot about this, Claudette. Yeah, thanks for reminding. I need to cover this on yesterday. I don't have a time machine. I forgot to cover this today, Claudette. Thank you for reminding me this. Chelsea Clinton received $64 million. That goes on tomorrow's show. Thank you, Claudette, for reminding me this. Again, there's so much happening. It's hard to keep up. But at the same time, we have unlimited content and unlimited ways to have a good time on the Jesus Enrique Rosas show. My body language buddies and my common sense crusaders from now on. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet on tomorrow on show number 77. Nice number. Remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.